You're listening to the Main Event Moto podcast.
It's time for episode 156 of Main Event Moto. I want to give a huge shout out to Fly Racing, Mika Metals, No Toil, EMT Racing, Viral Moto, and Old Me Creations. What's up, producer Joe?
What up?
You got your Viral jacket on. How you like it?
Viral's dope.
It's good. Looks good on you.
Thank you, sir.
Everything looks good on you.
Been rocking it for months.
Everything looks good on you. What's that hat, though? I can't see. You got it lifted up kind of high.
Yosemite.
Yosemite what?
Just Yosemite.
Just like the place?
State pride. Cali pride. West Coast.
So just the place.
Just the place.
The place has its own brand?
You guys been to Yosemite? Go to Yosemite. Check it out.
Been to Yosemite.
It's got cool waterfalls.
Wonder if Andy Gregg from Guts Racing has been to Yosemite. Andy, what's up?
What up, homie?
You been to Yosemite?
Yeah, once to take family photos with the wife's family. Yeah, it was great.
Just to take family photos?
Yeah. It was epic.
Hey, we gotta get these sick photos. Let's head up to Yosemite. It's not a short drive.
No, it ain't.
How'd the photos turn out? How'd you look?
Good.
Good.
Her mom was checking me out.
Oh, yeah, you looking really good. We got a full studio, Joe.
I know.
We welcomed a newbie. What should we do? What should we do to him?
Got a cherry in the house.
Ryan Hughes, aka Charged Life. Just kidding. Not that Ryan Hughes. A different Ryan Hughes. You're RH22 in my phone.
Yep. RH22 on Instagram. That's Jacob Hayes Mechanic.
Jacob Hayes, the mechanic, works for the Gas Monkey AJE Law Tigers team.
And Daniel Blair's mechanic in Salt Lake City.
Joe, this is my guy. This is my guy.
Salt Lake City.
I ruined his Salt Lake, though, because that's the last round of the year.
He's ready to party.
He's ready to party. Andy?
Party till 11.
Does this guy party?
He parties.
He parties. Not in Salt Lake, Ryan.
No,
we have a job to do.
Yo, did you take that?
Vegas the week before.
Did you take that trash can with you, Ryan?
No, I left it there for someone.
Ryan, is Danger Boy's mechanic going to be partying Saturday night? No. He'll be in bed, resting up. Big day Sunday.
Is he even old enough to party?
I don't think so.
It's a name like Danger Boy. You're always old enough.
You do whatever you want when you want. What's up, boys? How we doing?
Doing good.
All different environments for us. I'm on the floor. Andy's in the stands. Ryan, where were you?
I was on the couch.
On the couch? Joe, where were you? In the cave?
I was in the bed.
Were you in bed?
No,
watching? Or in the cave?
Wherever. Couch, bed.
Where were you? I mean, where do you...
Stairs.
Where did you...
Bathroom.
Where did you watch from?
I watched from the couch and then the bat cave.
Okay. A little bit of both?
Yeah.
Okay. So I've told you this. You guys might know. My wife is she's a big fan of the Vanderpump, Teen Mom, Real Housewives, right? I don't get much of that in my life. This Supercross is my Real Housewives. This is my drama, and that's why I always beg for it and demand it, right, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a lonely housewife looking for a little drama during the day, and that's what I get from my Supercross. And this was the best episode. Best episode of the season, 450 main event, 20 minutes of straight drama. I loved it. I was excited. Usually I sit during the races. I was standing. That's how good it was for me. Am I alone in this, Joe?
No, it was exciting. Really exciting.
It was good, right?
Yeah.
Different storylines. Chaos. Riders mad at each other. God, I love that. Did you see me ask both riders after the race, too? Asked Justin what he thought of Eli. Asked Eli what he thought of Justin. Just, I can't help it, man. Like,
that's good.
I want to know what they think.
Hell yeah.
And I was kind of disappointed. They didn't.
It's your job to ask the question that you know everyone is thinking.
Yeah, but they didn't.
No matter how uncomfortable it may be.
The most uncomfortable part is they were standing right next to each other when I asked both of them. One was on the other side, and I was like, I'm right in the middle of it. This is great.
Yeah.
Hopefully they just get mad and start swinging. I'll be right in the middle of this. But that didn't happen. Andy, what'd you think? You saw them together at the bottom there, getting all feisty, yelling for the second time this year. And you were at San Diego too, so maybe it's just maybe it's an Andy Gregg thing. Andy shows up, Eli and Justin, they get into it.
Yeah, it was good. I thought, put everybody in the stands on their feet. That's for sure. I mean, you could hear the crowd all night going wild over this one.
I asked Roczen on the podium. I said, "Did you have any idea what was going on behind you?" He said, "No, but I knew things were happening because he kept hearing it, and he said he was staying focused. He didn't want to get caught up in it, and then come to find out someone gets up to him. So he was like, I had tunnel vision, but I was so trying to know what was going on without looking. And he said he had no idea what was going on. I said, oh man, it was was good. And we apologize. We didn't show you on TV like at all because you were too far out in front doing nothing but cruising around by yourself. So sorry, Kenny, but Ryan, what'd you think? Overall, pretty fun night?
It was great to watch. I think I was on my feet screaming in my living room that whole last lap. It was incredible. I wanted Marty to get the podium so bad.
I'm going to say this with caution, but I was waiting for that bike to cartwheel into the grandstands at any time. And that, I'm sorry, but I have to say it. Marty goes down a lot, and that was a long time to not be on the ground, and I'm thinking it's getting late. He knows what place he's in. He is going to go for it, and I got to give him credit for being able to handle the pressure. They got him, but I mean, it was Barcia, Webb, and Tomac. But he settled in. He got a top 5. That's incredible. But I was waiting for cartwheels, man. I thought they were coming.
I was waiting for it too, and then I just kept watching it. I'm like, dude, Marty's still up there. And like my dad would come out and he'd come back inside. He's like, is Marty still in second? I'm like, yeah. He's like, what the hell is going on?
He did. He was good. But he told me on press day, Andy, Atlanta was where he got his first podium on a 250 and his first win on a 250. So he's good in Atlanta. He's a South Georgia guy growing up riding an MTF. So he had that, a little bit of that extra, whatever. What do you call that? Where you're home, you feel comfortable. I don't know. He had good mojo there. So he pulled it off. Big credit for him. But Joe, I don't know, what do you think of the night overall? I don't know, where do you want to start? I mean, there's so many places to go with this conversation. We start on Webb since he's on screen.
Unlike RH22, I was like, come on, Webby, dude, don't let this dude by. Like, make this happen, get it done.
Were you proud of?
I was extremely proud.
Cooper
clawed his way up right after that major accident last week that we just saw the replay of. Like, dude, huge.
Yeah, I gave him credit too. When you look at the last lap too, I mean, he knew what was at stake. These guys aren't dumb. He knew he was going for a podium. He also knew that Eli was right behind him. I thought the clutch move for Webb wasn't the pass. It was the defense on Tomac before the whoops. Like, he made the move. Okay, good move. The fact that he was able to slow down on the off, clip it, kind of endo, and then shoot over block, and then pin it through the whoops. I thought that was more clutch than the actual pass itself was, Andy.
Yeah, well, I thought him showing up and riding was pretty clutch. Because I know if I hit the concrete like that, I wouldn't want to come back next week. I'd have quite a few excuses.
Yeah, he apparently was big hematoma, obviously, but has been getting it drained. And then Will did a report on some magnet thing that's supposed to like help something. He's for like 5 hours a day. He's been on this magnet thing. But I know that on Friday he rode press day, and I walked up to him. I said, "How was the week?" He's like, "Was what it was." I said, "Did you ride it all?" Yeah. He goes, "No, right now." So Friday press was the first laps, and he was cruising at first. He was standing, putting around, didn't really get going. But then when I saw him, the second rhythm section, the 3 and then 3 onto the table. When I saw him do that on press day, he even landed a little short, kind of clipped it, jumped off. I went, we're good to go. Like he's good to race, but I didn't know he was going to be able to fight like that through 20 minutes. And the last 5 minutes of that, it was pure adrenaline.
Well, I watched him in his heat, and he actually didn't triple that very often.
He didn't look very good in it either.
He doubled through it quite, I would say most of the heat race. And I thought to myself that was pretty smart. He was just saving his energy for the main event. Because in the main event, he pulled the trigger on it almost every lap.
Yeah, and Will and I even talked about that because, we're constantly in contact trying to figure out exactly, where we're going with the reports because the night's changing. You go into the night with a plan. Joe, you know that. We just talked about it on Main Show. You go in with an idea of what the storylines are, but the storylines change throughout the night. And she's like, I got something really good on Webb, but I'm just I'm wondering about that heat race. Was he just riding bad or was he saving it? And I said, I don't think it was a plan early, like I'm just going to save it in the heat. It was more circumstantial. He wasn't really up front. Yeah. And I think he just evaluated and went, you know what, I'm not going to give up any of my energy right now. I'll sit here. I'll be fine. And I think it was more circumstantial. And then the main, he was fired up, ready to go, and got a horrible start, as did Eli. And I'm thinking, man, this ain't going to be good for him. Like, he's hurt. He didn't ride all week. This track's kind of gnarly. He's probably going to lay an egg here, and then we might not see him next week. I felt like this race was, I still have a chance at this thing. I'm going to go there and give it a shot, but I'm thinking, man, he's going to get an 8th or 9th or 10th or something like that. And for a long time, Andy, it looked that way. And then all of a sudden, just chaos everywhere. And he got a little bit of help, and then he took care of the rest.
Yeah, and they definitely had some help. Both him and Tomac had help, but that's part of racing too. I mean, there's going to be nights where it's better to be lucky than good, but he was still good because Tomac, he caught everybody who was passing him just fine, and he got to Webb, and Webb was definitely maintaining the pace.
I think they got up to about 10th and 12th together. And he was right there. He might even got one more, but Tomac was right there with them, and then they both kind of made their way through, and again, he couldn't get Webb. And that move that was so clutch, though, it's like he's got this weird awareness, Joe. I don't know. He goes onto that tabletop and then goes off of it so slow, clips just to protect, and then shoots over 2 ruts to block, then cuts, and then blitzes the whoops on a wheelie. I don't know how that guy is so good in those situations. I don't even remember one. Ryan, do you remember one time when Webb has been out-dueled or played on a last lap or a last 3? I don't remember one ever.
No, I don't remember one. He's so clutch, and like you said, that's like he saves it for the main, and then he waits, and then if he sees an opportunity, but it's not the good one, he doesn't take it.
Yeah.
He waits to take it until the opportunity is right, and then he strikes. And a lot of the times that happens on the last lap, but he's so perfect.
Well,
on the last
and then
lap.
on the last lap is when he'll go for it because he knows he doesn't have a choice.
Yep.
But I've seen him before mid-race too. He'll have a little bit of a run on someone. No, not yet. I listen to the review show with Mathis and JT and Weege all the time, and JT always talks about how you got to be a smart racer. You got to know when to take a shot at it. Cooper's probably the best at knowing when and when not to make a move. But then when the time is starting to run out and he knows he has nothing left, then he can snap his fingers and get it done. And I just got to give the guy credit. He's keeping himself alive in the championship, and technically on the night, caught up to Tomac. The problem is, though, is Roczen smashed him. And again, Andy, I was watching my monitor. I didn't see him. Was he just flawless? You saw him. I didn't see him.
He looked so silky smooth. Like at one point I looked down and I go, with Ken, the lap times were right, because I was watching, I also have the laps going on my phone, and his lap times were fast. But if you physically look at him, you think to yourself like, oh, he knows he has a big gap. He's just letting up. Yeah. And then the lap comes around and you're like, wow, he's still like top 3 in times.
That lap.
Yeah.
And he's just maintaining, and that's the thing.
He's so smooth.
Yeah, and that's the weird part too. And I was thinking about this on the flight home. You know how Kenny is the one who is the most outspoken about how the bike has to be right for him? They're always tinkering, finding little things, and if it's off, it affects a lot. This track was one of the weirder tracks of the year as far as it being so slick, so ruddy, so choppy. It did have still abrupt triples in the rhythm. It had everything. And you would think that a track like that would bother a guy whose bike is affected by things a lot. You know what I mean? So I'm surprised. I don't know if it was just the start and just the mood he was in, or just the fact that he got away. But I feel like this track would be the one that would bother someone that is very into fine-tuning things, because I don't think there's any way to get any bike right on that track. You know what I mean? It was so many different directions. And I'm surprised that of all these tracks, this would be the one where he had no issues with his bike. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does. But at the same time, tracks like this, for guys that ride so smooth as him, it's going to, be somewhat of an advantage for him, because he's going to make...
He don't force it.
Yeah, he'll make, say, I don't know, how many laps did they end up doing? 25 maybe?
20, probably. 24, 25.
I know the lights did 19 laps. So, I mean, he had to, he's going to, if you look at his laps, it's going to be maybe not the fastest lap, but all of them are very close to being the same lap. So you saw these other guys might rip one good lap, but then they miss the rhythm section. Like, I don't know how many times in the 250s, Sexton and Hampshire would blow the first rhythm.
Taking turns, too.
Yeah.
They one would do it, one wouldn't.
Yeah, so there's a lot to be said for a guy that can just make every lap. And that's a lot of Dungey, too. Dungey was the same way, like, where you just focus on doing the best 25 laps you can do. They don't have to be the fastest 25 laps. And that's going to put Kenny in a position to...
The start helps, too.
Yeah.
Because think about it, if Kenny's 8th place start and has to fight through traffic and it's all scrappy back there, then he has to ride different, then the bike reacts different. He was out front, so he literally just clicked off, like, practice laps.
Yeah.
And when you can do that, then you can lighten up. You don't have to push hard. He was never under pressure. And he's also smart enough to know, he looks back and sees it's Davalos in second. I'm creeping away. I can just ride this track like loose and fun and play. And again, when your brain is in that mode, your bike works better because you're not forcing it to do things that you don't want it to. But again, just such a tough track. And when I went out there for press day, I couldn't help but notice how dry it was for there. And what happened, I talked to the track crew. I was trying to figure out what the deal was. They said they brought in half the dirt before for Monster Jam. And they don't use all of it. It's flat. They maybe build a tabletop in the middle or something. That all dried out and aired out. And that was on the front closer side to the start. That was all drier. This backside where Kenny's right there by the sand, that was brought in later. So that's more of your Atlanta red soft stuff. That's where most of the ruts happened. Everything high was soft. Everything kind of on the low was dry and hard because it had been in there for so long. I think that was the hard part, and it's just these guys trying to navigate through that. But it was good, man. I had a lot of fun that 450 main. Joe, what do you think of Eli? Right before the gate drops, I do a nice little I had a little report with his last 17 races, how that narrative of him blowing it, that's gone. He don't do that no more. He's in the clear. And then the first, 5 laps, I'm thinking to myself, really?
You jinxed him.
You just made me look so stupid. I literally just said, you don't do this stuff anymore.
It's your fault.
Then he gets a horrible start. Him and Barcia are back and forth. He takes him and Baggett out. He's back in 14th. And I'm like, man, really? I did homework this week. I literally got a stat together for the show to show how you don't do that. And then you go and do that. And then, luckily for me and him, he gets back up to 4th. But
props to him just the same way I gave it to Webby. Obviously, Tomac isn't dealing with the level of injuries from last week, but to be down that far and claw his way back and then almost get 3rd, crazy impressive.
And think about him, too. Do you guys think he was just overly desperate early? The thing with Barcia back and forth, the thing with Baggett, he was being desperate, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
If he would have been more patient, he'd have got 2nd.
Yeah.
He would have came from all the way back to 2nd, no problem.
8th when he went down?
Yeah, when he got up to Baggett, I think.
And then as soon as he went down with Baggett, I'm like, oh, it's definitely over. I did too. I thought it was over. I didn't think he would work his way back up to 4th. I thought he was going to mentally crumble like Eli does when stuff like that happens.
Well, like he did at Arlington last year when he fell, and then whatever, New Jersey. Again, those moments that he's had have come when things go wrong, and then he never really just implodes while he's riding. Well, he does it when things go bad. And I was kind of thinking too, I was like, wow, well, never mind everything I just said. But to his credit, he did power back. But at the same time, he did have help. Wilson, Anderson, Freese, they were all, Wilson and Anderson were under the tunnel at one point, stuck together. Webb stalls his bike. There was a lot of other stuff going on that kind of helped things play out the way they did. This wasn't just a standard 20-minute race with no problems. Guys were everywhere.
It was chaotic the whole race. The camera just kept going back and forth to different battles on the track for people just absolutely killing each other.
Talked to the TV crew afterwards, and we were all pretty pumped on the coverage. We talk about all the time how hard it is to get everything in the sport, because you'll be on Tomac chilling out front, all of a sudden you hear the crowd scream, and it's because somebody in 4th goes over the bars, and you can't catch it all. I thought for the most part they caught everything last night. I don't remember one thing where it happened out of screen in the main, at least. I feel like it was a good night to catch all this because a lot happened. You know what I mean?
I have a question for your technical crew. Maybe you don't know this answer or not, but are they former riders or are they just people that are skilled in this profession of being technical?
As far as like director and all that?
Yeah, when I watch, me and you, we're going to watch differently than people that are in the, in the stands, right?
Right.
I could see stuff. I was pointing stuff out in...
before it was coming or something?
Yeah, even in time qualifying, somebody said next to me, I go, this 3-digit guy over here and this three-digit guy here, there's something's about to happen.
Right.
Oh, well, you really think so? 3-4 corners later... boom, into each other, grabbing helmets, throwing arms. What's that all about? What are you doing? And it's, I don't know, I feel like I have an eye for that kind of stuff because I've been around it for so long. I kind of don't really notice the guy that maybe is putting in a good ride. I really didn't watch Davalos. Every now and then I'd be like, oh yeah, I'd see the pylon and be like, oh, he's in 2nd. But I wasn't, other people around me were just freaking out. Oh, the 37 guy's killing it. Oh man, look at him. And I'm watching the Hep guys trying to kill each other,
Right,
or,
right.
or whatever, right?
And that's the challenge too inside the truck. And I've said this before. This sport is got to be the hardest one to call ever. And I don't know enough about NASCAR and IndyCar to know, but they're in like a lot of groups. You see things coming a little bit more. You're not going to miss it. You're not going to go, oh my gosh, something happened and we didn't catch it. In this, you have 22 guys all somewhere on their own. And say like you're out for like right now in this LCQ, you're on weeks. It's the last lap, whatever. You're trying to show the leader because he's about to cross the finish line, but you're also keeping your eye on third, fourth, and fifth. Then the guy in second goes over the bars randomly on his own. You've got stuff. That's why, if you notice, we always get the replay because we've got it on it, but you can only pick one thing to actually show. And I've been in the truck before, but I've never been in it and paid attention. It's more like I'm just chilling in there. But I know that there's like a million screens in there, and there is the one which is programmed. That is what is on the screen. And the other ones are on things, and you have, I know Bevo's in the stands. He's kind of like spotting battles, like trying to find, hey, this is kind of going on. I even am talking to Bondo sometimes and saying, hey, back and forth. That someone just caught up to someone, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's on that. So we're all kind of as a team working on making sure we try to find the most. But at the same time, you just can't catch it all because there's maybe 4 things going on at one time, and only one's going to come on screen. I just think that for this race, I was surprised that everything that I was seeing was all the relevant stuff. We just got it all. You know what I mean? Think about all the things that happened. We caught it all live, like not in a replay. There was I can't think back, maybe one moment where the crowd cheered and we didn't have it on there, and then we got to it quick. But everything under the tunnel, the takeouts, like, look at, there's so much to be seen right now. But here's Tomac and Barcia stuffing each other. And we got it. It just, sometimes the night works out perfect. And this was one where afterwards we all were like,
you realize
hell
right,
yeah,
right
we
now,
got it.
You realize right now that Webb's 3 seconds behind Tomac?
Yeah.
At this point of the race?
And that, again, is a storyline. That we're on Cooper all night long because he's there, he's injured. So having to choose Tomac Barcia versus Webb and then go back to Roczen or Dov, like having to choose is really, really, really hard. You know what I mean? And it just, sometimes, man, you just nail it. And I thought this main event was good. And I think that's why we were all pumped, too, because we got to see it all and call it all. Sometimes you don't get to call it, and you have to call, well, here's what happened.
Yeah.
And that's part of the game with this sport when you have.
And that's why I was asking. I was just curious, if any of those guys are like, maybe amateur racers at one time, or like if the production crew, they try to find people that are enthusiasts in the sport so they enjoy their job more versus somebody that just knows how to run.
You think riders would be smart enough to run that equipment there?
Well, that's why I said amateur.
Did you hear
riders.
Anderson?
That's why I said amateur.
Oh, amateurs. I would say no pros. Anyone that makes it far enough to be pro, they don't have the skills to run the equipment. But
I was just curious.
Hey,
just thought.
While it's on screen, Tomac on Baggett. Ryan?
Aggressive. I don't think he expected Blake to cut down that sharp. He definitely went in for the kill, but I don't think he expected that turnout, obviously. He didn't want himself to go down.
So it was meant to be physical.
Meant to be aggressive, but not aggressive enough to put them both on the ground.
You know what else I think was going on there?
What?
He knew who was behind him.
Yeah.
He knew who he had just gone back and forth with. Think about this. Oh, and that's the point I want to make right now. I'm going to ask you this, Andy. If you're going for a championship and you have, 8 more rounds to go and you're Eli Tomac, do you really want to have beef with Justin Barcia with 8 rounds to go?
Last year's Justin Barcia, not a problem. This year's Justin Barcia, no, I'm not having beef with that guy.
No, especially when you've already had it.
He's riding twice as good as he rode last year.
That's what I'm saying is Barcia he's not Bam Bam anymore. He's just Bam. He's just one Bam. But the last thing I'm going to do is have beef when I'm in a title fight with somebody who plays that game and even likes it. You know what I mean?
Well.
Yeah, like it's...
You have to give it to Justin, though. He does it to every rider. It doesn't matter if it's Kyle Cunningham or Eli Tomac. They get the same treatment.
Yeah, he don't pick and choose.
I actually appreciate that kind of riding. I'm not even a Barcia fan, but I appreciate that more versus the guy who seems to only do it to, like Webb kind of has his guys, right?
Yeah.
Webb has a couple dudes that he likes to get a little dirty on the passes with, and then Webb will pass somebody else.
Yeah,
totally clean.
They know.
Like But Bam Bam, it's the same for every dude. Like,
and that's fine
you get the
for
same
him.
treatment.
So he doesn't pick and choose, but I'm saying Eli
that's my point.
shouldn't
It's like
pick and
Tomac.
choose that guy
No.
to be the one who maybe doesn't like you for the rest of this year. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking to myself, if you're in a title fight, the last thing you want to do is have a rivalry or have some unfinished business with somebody who is good at that stuff and likes that stuff and doesn't like you. And I'm not saying this is going to come back to bite him.
It could.
But he should be looking over his shoulder the rest of the season, because if Barcia gets a chance, Barcia will give him a little extra just because why not? I mean, and he's still in the championship fight too. I'm just saying you got to be smarter who you pick your fights with.
Yep.
And to go back another week and do it again, and I know it's just aggressive racing, but I would still be awfully careful when I'm around that guy, because the last thing I want to do is have him remember in Foxborough or Detroit or Salt Lake, Joe. The final round. The last thing you want to do when you're in a championship battle and it's a winner take all, you get a 5th place start and Barcia's in 4th. You know how bad that is for you?
Is Barcia on contract season?
Yes, he's came out.
That's going to make it even a little more.
No, Andy, it's worse than that. If he gets top 3, his contract is automatically renewed for another year in the points. If he gets top 3. So it's not only is he in a contract year, but if he gets top 3 in points, dude,
he doesn't even have to go to the table.
It's renewed. So a lot at stake.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying is he's not just out there week by week. He's got a lot at stake too. And that's not the guy I would be messing with.
Playing with fire, boy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What do you think about them yelling after the race? I heard it was
How come Dabalos didn't stop and congratulate Barcia right there?
Oh, I guess they're buddies again.
Are they really?
Yeah, I was kind of bummed because I even said in the race, like, hey, riders don't forget, and thinking there was some fireworks there. Apparently, before that even happened, they were already cool and like squashed the beef, and they're all good because I guess they're on the same flights together like every week. They live in the same neighborhood, so I guess Marty squashed the beef. They're all good. I'm out there getting that drama going, Joe, trying to get
Instigator.
I know I should have said something cooler, like, "Yeah, Marty told me before the race."
He's in a lawn job your front yard.
Yeah,
He
totally.
said last week, if you're wondering why your mailbox was gone. Anyways, it was pretty cool. And then Roczen, though, ties it up.
Yeah.
Red plate after 9 rounds, dueling red plates.
When was the last time we had that?
This late?
Yeah. Well, a few years ago, Dungey and Tomac, when Tomac blew it.
Oh, they did, huh?
Yeah. When Tomac came back at Salt Lake from dead last.
They tied it up.
They were tied there.
So when they went to Foxborough that night, were they sharing red?
No, it was Eli only.
He
had shared it in Salt Lake.
He took it and then blew it.
Yep.
Right? Oh, man. Joe?
Red's heavy.
Joe?
Red's heavy.
The main event moto,
I know.
the Dumbass Bass Award trophy,
Yep.
it's going to Vincent.
That it is.
We had a preseason wager, Andy, who would win the title. We all picked one, and whoever's the worst and furthest off gets the Dumbass Bass trophy for being the most off. Vincent picked Cincerello for the title, which I love. I love living on the edge, but I got Roczen. Hobo Nick's got Tomac. Joe's got Webb. Joe, you still feeling it?
Oh, yeah.
Webb, I mean, 20-something back, dude.
Yep. Lot of season left.
No. Well, yeah, because he was 26, and what did he get, 2 on Eli?
Yep.
So he's 24. Damn, did he lose that much to Webb? He was that far back on Webb, too. Okay, yeah, wow. So he's 24, I think, out. Joe, you still good.
Plenty of time.
Why?
Shit, you saw it last night, son.
Can't knock him down?
That's with draining your, whatever you called it.
Hematoma.
Getting drained on the gate.
On the gate.
Carlos is back there draining.
Could you imagine Carlos? Just a little incision, just right out of his
drain it
back
real
before the
quick.
gate drops. I was thinking about that too, though. If he's draining the it's not just pure blood. Is it some other fluid? I mean, I'm really dumb when it comes to medical stuff, but it can't be
Call
just.
Vincent.
It's the last person I'm calling when it comes to medical stuff, even though that's what he does. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just pure blood, right? Like,
No, I don't think
because wouldn't he
so.
be like a little light? I mean, I remember when I was a little low on blood after one of my surgeries, I wasn't be able to sit up. You know what I mean? Like, how he can't
All
be just
week and shit.
yeah, just drain that thing out all week, and I don't know.
That's rough. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a tough fight to get back.
So-
I'm a realist, but come on, I gotta have faith in my boy.
Then you're counting You're still counting on. I mean,
I'm counting on Levi showing up. I'm counting on K-Rex doing what K-Rex do.
Levi rode the first couple laps of that one.
Yeah, he did.
He did. And then after when him and Blake were like wrestling for a minute.
Yeah, wrestling.
Like WWE.
Yeah.
Levi tagged Eli back in, and he's like, I got this, man. I got this.
Blake like throws him off his bike, like literally grabs him and throws him.
Did you see what Moto
It was more of a forward thrust.
Yeah. Did you see what Moto Dubs posted?
Yeah.
Posted a picture of it with Blake kind of behind him and said, he missed. Really, Moto Dubs guy knows it.
I was in
funny.
TSA pre-check this morning with Blake, and I thought to say something, but his wife and kid were there. And
That's mature of you. That's mature of you. Really quickly on him, I had this thought too. Other than the one podium, where San Diego, he has had is he top 10 in points? I don't think he is. He's had a really bad year.
He was going to win A2. I sat there.
I think he was too.
I elbowed my buddy. I go, Blake Baggett's winning tonight.
Yeah.
He is on fire. And then he high-sided, and then I was like, Blake Baggett's not racing the rest of the year.
No.
It looked like
he slapped the ground, but I'm just thinking about it right now in the moment, but other than the one night, I don't think he's had any good result. This has been the roughest year for him. Like, he's on the ground all the time. Little ones, big ones. He's had a rough year. Crazy. Let's take a break, Joe. We'll come back. We'll do 250s. I'm about to make probably a huge overreaction on Chase Sexton, so let's take a break.
Main event moto.
There's a reason I run DRS suspension and Race Tech hard parts with Mika Metals chains, bars, and sprockets on Evans 65. First off, DRS suspension settings work everywhere. I haven't changed a clicker since I put them on. Maybe it's the internals from Race Tech that give it that extra something.
American-made products with a 100% guarantee. You don't see that every day.
Yeah, the DRS Race Tech combo works for me. And what can I say about Mika?
First off, they've been with us since the beginning.
The quality of their bars is top of the line, and Mika is the only chain and sprocket combo I run. Motoheads, get with the program. It's DRS suspension, Race Tech, Mika Metals.
Say it again.
It's DRS suspension, Race Tech, Mika Metals. Is that good, Joe?
Yeah.
I love when NorCal companies take the world by storm. Guts Racing seat covers and no-toil filters are made right here at home, but their products travel the country and world on some of the baddest dudes' bikes in pro racing.
Who runs Guts?
Too many factory teams to list, Joe.
Who runs No Toil?
Well, it's the only filter Chad Reed will run. Guts and No Toil make only the best. So visit gutsracing.com and notoil.com and step up your game, Motoheads.
Look good? Check. Protection? Check.
Fly Racing has had the gear game on lock for years, but the Formula helmet has taken Fly to another level. They didn't just make a high-quality helmet, they redefined the standard for the most important piece of safety equipment on a rider's body.
Use your head and protect your head. Run the Fly Formula helmet.
Then cover the rest of your body in Fly's Evolution and Kinetic gear lines.
Easy decision.
Main event moto podcast.
Ooh-wee. We've got our Scott USA Prospect listener questions coming up later, so we got some more 450 talk for you, but we'll go to the 250s now. Huge shout out to motosport.com, All-American Chevy of Killeen, screen printing done. Guts Racing. What's new with Guts Racing? Well, hold on. Scott USA, DRS suspension and race tech. I got to talk to you too, Ryan. And then, of course, I got the Law Tigers on my side. You know I got my own attorneys now, right?
Yep.
Maggie better.
Law Tigers.
She better just play her cards right, so she doesn't end up getting a letter from the Tigers. That's all I'm saying. What's new with Guts?
Let's see. We picked up. We had a phone call right before Oakland. In desperate need of a Phantom lightweight seat foam for a rider, and we were kind of taken back because the team doesn't run our seat covers or any of our product, and. We got it to him.
Care to say
I'm gonna, yeah. So we next aired. We told him. We told him, we're like, look, you don't need a next day air, to Oakland because we're only a 2-hour drive. And no, we want to make sure it guarantees that it gets here. And what impressed me the most about the situation is every other top level rider has always been like, okay, well, we got to test it first before we race it. No, these guys didn't test it.
That's what I'm saying. They're rushing without even testing, just going to throw it on?
Yep. They said, we're going straight to the jugular. Cooper Webb mounted up the seat foam, came in, he had no idea the brand, anything like that. He just said that the current seat they were on was no good. He came in. His words was, "This is the best seat I've ever ridden on in my life."
Straight to the hematobin.
Yeah, right to his hematobin.
As far as the foam goes. And what do you know? He ripped off second that night.
Wow.
Then backed it up with a win.
Wow, it was all the seat.
Yeah, but I don't know what happened after that.
Now I'm even more confident.
Wow, okay,
Just don't use our foam on a dragon back.
Yeah, okay, so but fill me in on how this happened. Like, why would it be all of a sudden emergency rush? Get it? Like, where does that come from? Like, did they hear it from? Maybe from the Husky guys?
Yeah, possibly the Husky guys.
Okay, that makes sense.
You know what's crazy is you'd be surprised at how many teams out there order stuff off our website full retail. Like this last week, factory KTM, a bunch of half-inch steps that go on the seat. Mm-hmm. Just $300 for the steps.
Don't even care. Just order it up, ship it out.
Boom. And at first we thought it was like it wasn't legit order, right? So we're like, hey, you guys really meant to order this many? Like, yep. Like, okay.
Wow.
I mean, no. Hey, we're in the industry. Do you guys have a discount?
So do you think it must be one of those things where they have maybe conflicting sponsors, so they know that they can't do anything with you guys right now, so they're just, but they need the product, so they'll just buy it?
Yeah,
because they know performance-wise they need it, but they can't maybe work a deal right now. It would have to be in the off season or something.
Yeah. So, and that was what KTM was so impressed about with the foam was that we got the firmness that I guess Webb's been looking for a while now, because last year I guess they were having issues with it too, and then they were blown away at the weight savings they had with it.
Wow!
Because their seats were coming from Italy, so not here in the States, so they really don't
different density of foam, different whatever, and obviously not stock. These guys aren't just throwing stock ones on there, right?
Yep.
Why can't you guys get a deal with a manufacturer and make them come stock?
Well, I mean, there's a lot to that. I mean, it's
what kind of number? I mean, you're talking crazy numbers of something.
Yeah, of course they're going to want it for nothing, and then the volume that they're going to need and the time frame
probably take you away from your regular business anyway.
Yeah,
for incredibly low margins.
Yep,
and then no cover anyway, so it's not even worth it unless you were able to get a cover out of it. Then it would be worth it. And
then the other cool thing is, with the exception of this weekend, if anyone's noticed, Malcolm's been getting way better starts.
He has been.
Yep.
I
got him on a new seat.
What do you do different?
Got it.
That's BS, Andy.
They said that, but it was funny with those guys. See, they had to test it before they raced it. Like, that's what I was so impressed with Webb. That
he just threw it on.
We're riding it. Just go for it,
Joe. Does that make you even more confident?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Yep. I was going to ask before we went to the break. Red plate, shared, 9 rounds in. Tomac, Roczen, Webb's back there, Barcia's back there. Ryan, who's your title pick right now? A little over halfway through.
I got Roczen. I'm
really?
a Roczen fan. Have been since he came over here from Germany.
Is your hair? You got red hair right now?
No, not right now. But
okay.
I think Roczen. I'm not 100% confident, just because it's obvious what we've seen from Roczen, but it's obvious what we've seen from Eli as well.
Right.
We don't know what's going to happen.
Don't know from either. I think that's what Joe's banking on is those two knuckleheads, man. They still got one goofy one in them probably, and Cooper might have gotten rid of his. Andy, Tomac, Roczen, Webb, 9 in.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of had Webb after he won, and then the little get off kind of stirred up the points, not being able. He didn't, maximize his points that night.
Yeah.
So I really think it is a 2-horse race. It's just gonna, what's gonna determine it is who's gonna let the red plate get the heaviest.
Yeah, which one's gonna get goofy. They both had it now this year for multiple weeks.
Yeah.
And now they're sharing it, and so pick one.
I think Ken's turned over a new leaf. I think he's gonna pull it together.
If I get that right, Joe.
Leap year champion.
It'll be big. Oh, gosh. Did you guys hear the press conference?
I didn't. I
missed
didn't.
it.
Okay, never mind. We'll just move on. Joe,
Main show.
for his sake, let's just not talk about it here. Ryan, you work at DRS Suspension.
I do.
How's Evan's stuff? Do you have it right now with you?
I have it freshly serviced by me. It's
good
to go.
Joe, remember I told you Robbie at DRS is super pissed because I went like 50 hours and he's been like, give me the stuff. I got to service it. And I'm like, dude, you're talking to me, man. Like, I don't even wash the bike. So
Yeah, seriously.
we're fine.
Suspension
Anyways,
still had dirt on it.
did it?
Yeah.
You know who washed the bike?
Jacob.
Maggie did.
Oh.
Yeah,
wow.
so blame her.
Good going,
I was
Maggie.
gone. How'd it look inside, though?
It looked good.
Did it?
Honestly, yeah, it didn't
Evan's
look bad.
slow, man. It's not worn out.
I noticed you had the rebound at 4. I don't know what you were doing there.
He's been riding Supercross. Everything was tightened up.
Yeah.
Stiff and slow, man. Anyways, yeah, DRS suspension killing it, of course. All them race tech internals in there. And a goofy little announcement for you. Evan is somehow kind of quasi getting a Team Green ride. And he's getting 2 KX85s next week. And he's going to ride the 65 at the last 2 Supercrosses. And then we're done with 65s. He's going on 85s. And Robbie already knows. So he's got the race tech stuff on order.
So much for going slow.
That's why I'm actually doing it to go slow. What do you find that funny?
Screw 65s. You've been on them for
What do you
6
find that
months?
funny for, Joe? What are you laughing at?
It's just because, the program is so strict till it's not.
It is, because look, here's the problem. He's starting to go fast in the 65. It's starting to feel competitive, and I don't want it to be. So I'm putting him on 85, so I have a couple of years I don't have to care.
All right.
Think about it. Right now, like, dude, I'm tempted to push him on speed. I don't want to do that yet, so I'm going to put him on an 85, Andy. That way he's still scared of it. Just keep them fundamentals coming. Just focus on that and get a little bit ahead of the game on the bike. And that way when he's around 11, 12 years old, he'll be tight fundamentally, and then we'll make our push. So, yeah.
Strategic.
Couple more months of a 65, and then my little tiny 50 kid is going 85s. But the Cowie is a really small 85. It's got the smallest cockpit from like foot peg seat bars. Which, by the way, Andy, you'll be getting a seat to cut here in about a week and a half. And
Not
you've done that before for me, so be ready to cut about an inch off that Cowie 85 seat. Anyways, all right, 250 class. Do you want me to just come out and say it, or should we work into it? Or
Say it.
Let's hear it.
Chase Sexton's going to win every race the rest of his life.
That's bold.
Yeah, it is bold.
Wait, back up just for a sec real quick. 450s.
Ever.
Eli still got this thing on lock for you? Because you didn't say your prediction.
I picked Kenny before the season started.
I know, but last week you said Eli's got it locked down.
I never said that. Did I say that?
Don't make me play the tape, son.
Did I say it?
Yes, you did.
I'm not going to
You
say.
know you did.
I'm not going to say it either. And then after the end of the year, you just cut the clip from one of the shows and play
say
that
that's
one.
the prediction.
I predict that Eli, Kenny, or Cooper will win this title.
Oh, it's a bold move, Cotton.
Let's see if it plays out.
No, honest truth is, I'm sticking with Kenny because that was my pick. But I do think Eli is going to win it.
Still.
Yeah.
All right. And now you think Chase Sexton's never going to lose again?
Ever.
All right. Thanks. Good show, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
See you in a couple years.
and when I say ever, I'm not saying just this year on 250. I'm saying ever.
Ooh.
I'm saying like no. I'm just being over. I'm being Daniel right now. Which I overreact. But on the flip side, dude, he was. I've said it for a while. He's fundamentally flawless. I think he's a perfect rider, and he's just, I don't know, something about, you could see him maturing now because I've known him now for a couple of years. You got to remember with me too, this is like my, 3rd or 4th year doing my job there. So like, I wasn't around for a lot of Kenny through his 250 into 4. I haven't got a chance to see these guys transition in from 250 to 450. So for Chase, I saw him his rookie year here in Atlanta break his femur. And then I saw him the next year. I'm watching him from a rookie on, and I've never seen someone just completely polish their game from like good to great so perfectly. His attitude, the way he rides, takes care of business. I mean, he's sized for a 450. I just think he's really locked in. He's taken this 250 East. I think they're going to have their hands full of them at the showdowns. And I think this transition to 450, which I was a little concerned how early it was, I don't think I'm concerned anymore. I really don't. I think he's got the it factor straight up. And he crushed him last night. Once he smartly made his way into the lead, he took his time. Once he did, he pulled away and checked out. He's next level right now. Andy?
Yeah, I think he's, I don't know if he's quite next level like you're saying, but he has impressed me this year. I'm going to be totally honest. I thought Shane was going to kind of own the East Coast to be.
Oh, and I don't think it's over.
Yeah.
With that. I think Shane's going to fight him back. I think Shane had an off night, but I was with you two coming in. I would have leaned Shane a little over him, not by much. And now I go the other way a little. I give Shane the nod. I've just seen enough to where I think he's going to be hard to beat, even when Shane's on his A game. I mean, they're maxing out how to ride that 250. And this one for sure. RJ looked better too, but I think Shane will still give him the fight. But I think Chase is a little bit better.
Yeah, I think the East Coast this year has been bringing a little more heat than the West Coast did.
Really?
I think so.
Well, the West has the 3. The East, we're still early in this thing, but Jeremy, I mean...
Are you forgetting about Dylon?
Well, no, I mean, like, I feel like on the West, there's 2 guys that really just
it's like
bring
2
the
and a half,
speed.
right?
But I mean, as far like these guys, they dig for every position. I feel like on the West Coast, some guys just kind of not
Settling
really
in their
move
spot.
over. Yeah, they just kind of go, oh, I'm a 5th place guy, so that's just where I'm going to ride. Like these guys, I feel like they ride a little more.
Well, they've been hitting each other for one, which is cool.
Yeah.
Like RJ's not giving up an inch. He's going to fight, and he, like I said, he's making mistakes and kind of being a little on the squirrely side, but it's because he's trying so damn hard. Oh,
Landing on
J-Mart,
that tough
dude,
block was
over the
rough.
bars. Jeremy's been riding good. Jordan looked a little bit better this week. They been a pretty rough start over there for PC, which I got to admit I'm a little surprised. I said last week I thought Jordan was going to be one of them. Like, I mean, he almost won this title like twice.
Yeah.
And I thought he would have been better off, but he's been behind that group, you know?
What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah.
I think Chase has got it. He's like Daniel said, his fundamentals and the way he rides the bike is just amazing. It's amazing to watch him ride. He doesn't make mistakes. He'll sit behind a guy, wait.
Patient.
Like he made that pass on RJ. He's seen that he clipped that 3, and he's like, okay, I'm going to go now. And went right in, made the pass, a little contact, which, I mean, hey, it's all fair game between those 2 right now.
They were all cool on the podium about that, too.
Yeah.
Let's see. Was that main? No, that was the heat one. The main one, yeah. I asked RJ on the podium, and he said, all good. Like, It was cool.
You see, he leaned into him. He was anticipating it.
He said
knew.
that.
Yep.
He said he leaned in, and Ricky said that, too, in the broadcast, that if he didn't lean in,
he would have.
He might have been over the berm, but
Yeah.
he saw it coming and kind of like laid into it. That way, it kind of stood him up straight and not over. But yeah, I mean, the East is definitely entertaining, but I don't know. I'm seeing Chase kind of coming into his own right now, and
I think it's gonna be exciting. Denver, watch him and Dylon go at it. It's gonna be really
no
exciting.
Forkner, huh?
It all depends.
No Jacob, huh?
I mean, yeah, Jacob's gonna do great. I mean, what else do you expect me to say?
I remember watching Chase on I think a YZ125 like on YouTube a long time ago. Like I like to watch the amateur kids right around that last year or two. You know, like maybe Schoolboy, BA kind of Andy. I always like to see like who are the next ones. You know, like even Pierce Brown, which we'll get to him.
Yeah,
I remember watching Sexton though, just the way he stands everywhere in ruts, fundamentals. I always preach this when I coach kids. When you sit, you drop the leg at the same time. It's one motion. You drop and the leg comes out. You know, it's not. You don't want a bunch of notchy motions. It's all one motion stuff. And if you watch Chase ride, that's how he does. He'll sit, legs come out, explode all in one. Everything is just like a roller coaster to him, and that's hard to do on a 250. And that's why I'm so impressed, is because in the 250 class, to go that fast, you got to be a little Dylon and a little Austin. Like, they are pegged everywhere. It's a little sloppy. Chase is doing the same thing, but it's not sloppy. Like, if you watch those 3 guys right there alone, which one looks the cleanest doing that?
Chase
down. Does. And maybe I'm just blinded by this championship alone. Maybe we get to the East-West Showdown and they wax him. Maybe. I'm not going to say he's going to beat them or wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But I just think he is a little bit better and cleaner at doing the same things that they do on the West, Andy.
Yeah, I definitely feel like he does ride smoother, more Roczen-like on the bike, where he looks like he's more one with the bike instead of the bike kind of like RJ. It looks like he's not necessarily one with the bike because the bike's stepping out from him. Yeah. It's washing the rear tire, front end's knifing or whatever. I mean, RJ's still going super fast, but it seems like Chase doesn't have those issues.
Were you a little surprised with Shane this week?
Yeah, I was. He got a good start, so I thought for sure that he was going to be all over. It was going to be a battle first, second for them, and RJ
look at that. Made the move on Sexton early. That was a good move.
I thought that was it.
I kind of was thinking that time too. I'm like, all right, you're going to make a move that quick?
Yeah.
Like, you're going to the front, but then Chase, like, freaks out and gets him right back, right? Here?
That line on the sand was
Yeah, he makes a
fast.
terrible line choice here. I remember in the stands going, why would you go outside this early in the race?
And Shane did that, I think, the next lap, too. Went right back out there, too. I was kind of surprised with that.
That inside chase did was how he was hopping that bump. I know you pointed it out on the
Oh,
broadcast.
I was pissed, though. Did you? Okay, so
you said Hampshire, not Sexton. Did you notice that?
Did I say that, too?
Yeah, you said Hampshire.
Oh, so I messed up twice. So what I meant to say was Sexton hopped over that roller. I saw him do it, and that's why I pointed out for him to do it, and then he never did it again until, like, the very end. And I'm like, bro, make me look stupid. But then apparently I said the wrong guy anyway, so whatever.
Did you notice Brayton quadding over the on-off right here?
He went over, single into the corner?
Right here. Yeah, he singled into the corner.
Brayton. I was going to ask if anybody did that. That's
So he was going over that table and then just into the berm?
And just single and then going inside.
No way.
Yeah.
Of anybody to do it, I'm not surprised it was him. He picks stuff apart pretty easy like that.
Yeah, he does.
But that is pretty big.
You know, I noticed too about, and I've talked about it on the show or on the broadcast a couple times. The Geico Hondas are a lot better this year. They, do you see Sexton start in the main?
Yeah.
They're like a bike length on everybody. And that was a bike that last year, I know they were all complaining about. Remember in the outdoors, Andy? They were like publicly whining about that bike and how slow it was. It wouldn't run. They were blowing them up. And Honda didn't make a dramatic change. So somehow they fixed things over there. And I think that's helping Chase too, because dude, he's big. Like he said he's 170 pounds now. Like last year he was kind of tall and skinny. He's thickened up a little bit. And I don't know if that's just from natural growth, but he looks bigger, thicker on a bike that is apparently not as good as the Star bikes and the TLD and the Husky and the Pro Circuit as far as power. And they're whole shot in everything this year. Remember, Jet was, Christian was, Shimoda's not obvious, or J-Mart's been whole shot too, but Shimoda being a rookie, you gotta imagine that he's just taking his time. But
should give a shout out to that Gaines kid.
Oh, he was good too.
Dude, he was ripping.
Yeah, 6th right here. What did he end up though? I don't
know where he ended up, but here in a second, he ends up being 4th at one point because he gets by Jordan Smith and Martin.
Oh, he just went by right there. Yeah, RJ hits the block. Shane hits, he missed it, and J-Mart right over the bars. Tough break for him, too, because he was right in that title fight. I mean, I'm assuming thinks he's going for the title, and now he's way out of it. You know what I mean? I think he got back to 18th or something. What do you know what he got back to?
I have no idea.
He pulled in the pits. NASCAR guys worked on the, changed tires. Yep. Got them all dialed in.
Put a new back fender on?
No, it was causing drag, so they removed it.
Oh, okay. What do you think of Pierce Brown?
Oh, I was like, kid's going to win his first heat race. This is going to be sick. And then the main event,
he was too.
Then in the main event, he's riding with no visor. I'm like, yeah, not so good.
My fantasy team wasn't very happy.
What'd you get? How many?
I don't even want to talk about it.
I had like 260 or something.
I got like 2,000th overall. I'm not even in it.
I was pretty impressed with Pierce Brown though. And I've talked to the team a little bit just about the approach with him. They're cautiously approaching his season with the idea of, hey, let's build and not just come out swinging. And from what I understand, Pierce has the attitude of, I'm going for it. And you could see in the heat race and in qualifying, he was going for it. He was not letting up. And they're trying to keep that in check because I think they know they have someone special and they don't want him to ruin himself or ruin his own confidence by something goofy happening. But when he does let loose and go, like I was watching him in qualify because he was in the B group. So I just was watching him specifically. That dude gets it. Like he rides Supercross perfect. He completely as a rookie understands how to ride Supercross. Just needs to have that experience. I mean, these rookies are going to have mistakes. They're going to have a visor missing, Andy, right? It's going to happen. I just don't want him to have like what Jet happened to him and get hurt and miss some. He just needs to build and be there all year long because then next year he comes in and I'll say it right now. If he gets through this season and the summer, I think Pierce is battling for wins next year. No question. The talent is not missing in any way.
Yeah, he was one of the guys that I noticed in practice getting a little frosty with somebody after the checkered.
Was he?
Oh, yeah. Him and some dude on a Cowie, some 3-digit guy on a Cowie, because it was B practice, and...
blocking his fast lap?
I don't know. I saw the trying to stand each other up in the corner. I don't know why they were mad about it. So they go over the checkered. They go to come off the track. Dude on the Cowie's like trying to roost him. He comes up and he's kind of like chesting into him a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
first race ever. You start arguing with people after practice. But like
Supercross
riders, Joe, they don't mess around. They are mad during qualifying, no matter what. You You don't even have to get in 2 races before you start getting pissed at people.
Yeah, the guy, some random guy sitting in the stands next to me, I go, a guy in the KTM, I don't even know why he's getting mad. He should just point at the cowie and point at the board. Because I was like,
because he was number 1 on the board?
Yeah, I was like, look at his times. He should be in A group, and you got this dude here's like 17th in B group. Well,
that's usually who gets mad at who. Right, Ryan?
Yeah.
The guys in the top 5 are usually pissed at the guys in the bottom 5.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works.
250 class, what do you think then moving forward? I still think Shane's going to put up a good fight, but I think Chase is going to... I think year 3 for him, he's just locking in. And I think he's going to back it up.
Yeah, I think for the East Coast, I think Daytona is kind of like the race that once Daytona's over, you're kind of settled in because Daytona is a little more unique. And I kind of expect to see Martin rip pretty good there, but I think Chase is actually going to dominate these guys.
I'm saying RJ wins Daytona.
You really do, huh?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think the track's too long.
What's that mean?
Well, it just...
Like more time for things to happen?
Yeah.
Dude, RJ guns it, dude.
He's a guts rider. Of course I love the dude.
He goes for it so hard.
And that's what scares me.
That guy doesn't waste 1 inch of the track without giving it everything he has, no matter what. If he comes out of the corner and he's sliding, his foot comes off, normally you would let off and let me get back. No, he'll straighten it out with the throttle. And I think with him being a Florida guy, sand guy, that program, the team, they're going to have a good week out there. Even though, forgot to mention Osborne, dude.
Yeah.
That sucks. But they're going to have a good week out there preparing for this one. And I think RJ is going to rise up on this one. He's my pick to win it.
Yeah.
No, I'm wrong? I'm crazy?
Yeah. I agree. I think so too.
J-Mart too, though. I think J-Mart's going to be good. I think J-Mart and RJ will match Shane and Chase on this. I think we're in for a good one. And then from what I understand, Jordan Smith, Ricky said on the broadcast, I couldn't believe it because he mentioned that he had heard this and then he came out and said it, which is good. Jordan got called to the principal's office, he said, and sent out to California to get things right. Because I know that Jordan was riding back at MTF, ran his program out there, did his own thing, and he even told me on press day at the first one, Mitch said, as long as things are going good, I can stay back here. And then 2 weeks in, and he's back to California, which I was
that's wild.
Kind of surprised. You know what I mean? Andy, anything on Mitch?
No. I think...
No conversation before the main? No.
I think he's got... I'll tell the guys that...
Tell it, it's funny.
Well, I'm not telling the whole story.
Okay,
Jeez.
no, you don't have to tell the whole story. Tell half the story.
I was setting up, getting ready, getting all situated for the start of the lights main, and Mitch is sitting next to me, and another guy on the other side of me, and he tells Mitch that he ought to offer his guys $100 for a hole shot. So Mitch gets on the radio, kind of looks at me and says, "Tell the boys $200 for a hole shot." And I'll tell you what, they didn't get a hole shot.
No, they didn't. He should have made it more. I don't think it's going to matter. Chase hole shot by about a bike length. But anyways, 250s are good. I go RJ. Joe, what about you? 2 rounds in, 3 rounds in. What are you thinking?
I like RJ's style, but I mean, Chase is looking like a boss out there, man. There's no denying it.
Who does Ashley have for the win this weekend?
She's probably got RJ. Shut your mouth. Okay. Don't remind me about that shit.
Every time I look at him now, I just think of you and what you would do to him if you had to.
He's a pretty boy. He's a handsome man. She likes him.
Joe's lady loves RJ
him
a lot.
If I would have known that,
shut up. Not a lot,
pictures, but
a lot.
He was in his skivvies getting worked on.
Oh,
and he was right. I mean, right there. I could have reached out right there. Dr. G was working his magic. But that homie's got some scars, dude. Like some gnarly ones.
Joe doesn't want to admit it, but his lady likes to watch the Supercrosses, but only watches 250 Heat 1 and the 250 main. I don't know.
Shut
Just
your
saying.
mouth.
250 East only.
She watches that. She watches that Moto Spy video of K-Rock's butt.
Yeah, I heard about that online. Is that
Just
for real?
Bare ass, yeah.
Oh man.
Standing in front of the red light.
No, I skipped. Oh, is it that episode?
Yeah.
The red light thing? Okay, let's take a commercial break. We'll talk about something else.
Main Event Moto.
If you're a true Motohead, then motosport.com is your only choice when it comes to OEM or aftermarket parts for your bike. And when it comes to servicing your bike or giving it the punch you need to perform, it's EMT Racing. With motosport.com, you can get everything you need for your bike with great pricing and ridiculous speed on shipping. And with EMT, it's simple. Take your bike to the experts.
2020 is the year EMT takes over the performance world. If you don't know, now you know.
Your Bat Bros choose motosport.com and EMT Racing, and you should too. Motoheads, do you want to stand out on and off the track? Make sure to check out Viral Moto for your jersey lettering and apparel needs. That's viralmoto.com.
Because having a blank jersey is about as bad as Vincent's golf game.
And when it's time to get a screen printing project done for your business or personal use, you have one choice. It's screenprintingdone.com.
Neil is the man. You know those Main Event Moto sweatshirts you're wearing? Yeah, Neil at Screen Printing Done did those.
You know that sick new Viral Moto shirt you're wearing? Yeah, Neil did those too.
We like to look good. That's why we choose Viral Moto and ScreenPrintingDone.com.
All American Chevrolet in Killeen, Texas is a proud supporter of Main Event Moto and invites all the Moto heads to experience the difference for all of your Chevy sales and service needs. Mention Main Event Moto and get 50% off your next oil change and a front end alignment at no charge. Remember, whether you're hauling your bikes to the weekend track, trail, or race, or commuting to the job that pays for your moto habit, we have the truck to get you there in style. Visit us online anytime at ChevyKilleen.com. That's all American Chevrolet of Killeen. Chevy, find new roads.
Main Event Moto Podcast.
Ooh-wee. Time for the Scott USA Prospect listener questions. Before we get to it, though, I got some things I want to tell you. Joe.
Yeah.
Remember how I told you I wanted to change the segment to the Scott Fury listener questions?
Uh-huh.
And they told me no. They said, just keep it Prospect. And I was like, sure, like, you got the new Fury coming out? Like, let's mix it up. And they said, no, Prospect's cool. Well, my good friend Dave Janolfi emailed me this week some information on the Fury. The Fury goggle, $69.95. And what it is it's the Prospect, but it's the light version of the Prospect, I guess. And I'm probably saying that wrong, but it's a more affordable version, so it's still got your big, giant lens. That's what makes the Prospect so cool, you know. Andy, have you seen the Prospect?
No, sir, I haven't.
I've seen it. Ryan, you have?
I've worn them, yeah.
I haven't because I don't ride. I'll be ordering some here soon. We'll get to the Law Tigers weekly update because I did some stuff this week, Joe. But I'm going to get some Prospects for myself. But Evan still runs the Hustle because he's just a little kid with a little head. But the Fury goggle is out, and did you see the results on Max Volan? I know he's a Scott guy.
No, I didn't.
Andy, did you see the results? I just saw it was a mutter, and the wind was blowing, knocking stuff over in Matterley Bay or whatever it's called.
Yeah, he wasn't top 10.
He wasn't?
Nope, I checked that. No top 10 there. I was bummed. Like, super bummed.
Yeah, but it's also, again, it's all muddy and sloppy, but Max is good in the mud. I wonder what happened. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, I'm sure they're, something probably. It's just a new environment too. It's just give him a week or two.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to overreact, but I'm excited to see what he does once he gets going. Race Tech, Ryan, you know about Race Tech.
Race Tech, good parts.
Yeah, good internals.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy about Race Tech too? I just found this out this week. I mean, this is not something I found out, something I've known, but just reminded of. But a lot of the factory suspension guys that are in the pits in the sport, because each team, for the most part, has one.
Yep.
A lot of them go through Race Tech's program at
school.
some point. I know my dad did back in the day.
Really?
And like everybody that's a Race Tech dealer obviously does, but a lot of the factory mechanics did too.
Yep.
Because Paul Theed's been around forever with his parts, but not only that, but just his program and the education that they give. So huge shout out to them, though. And again, Robbie, if you're listening, get that KX85 stuff ordered. Andy, get the seat cover ordered for the KX85. And also Fly Racing. Joe, I've been talking about the spring gear coming out. It's their kinetic mesh from Fly that's coming out at Daytona this weekend, and I did see it finally. So
How was it?
Do you want to see it?
If you got to ask, man.
Do you want to see it?
Sure.
I just want your first word. We'll start with you, Andy.
It's clean.
It's clean.
Yep.
Ryan. Sorry, JT. Showing everybody.
That looks good. I like it. Looks really good.
I already got 2 sets picked out.
Ooh.
One for me, one for the boy. Which
Fresh.
one? Don't say the colors, but which one, Joe? Pick which one of the 5.
I probably like the second one from the left.
I know why you like that one, too. You Raider fan.
Because it reminds me of Ryan's hat.
Yeah, it sure does. All right, so is it time? Look,
Yeah.
like Tiger Laws. Jeez Louise, let's just do it. Motoheads, we ride with Law Tigers, the lawyers who ride. Visit lawtigers.com or call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS for more information. The Law Tigers watch over their own, and with Law Tigers, you'll never ride alone. And now, our weekly Law Tigers update. All right, Joe, so last week I made my plans to get ready. This week I began getting ready. Andy, I'm racing futures. I got to prepare, and I did sit-ups this week. 2 different days. What do you think of that?
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, 2 sets, 15, so a total of 60.
I did a few sit-ups this week. I sat up out of bed, went to work.
So 5 times this week?
Yeah.
But I did 60 sit-ups this week, and I started dieting. And Maggie even texted me during the race and said, hey, you look a little skinnier on TV this week. And I said, yep, I told you. As soon as I start getting ready to race again, look what's going to happen, Joe.
That's right.
Immediately. It took nothing but 1 week of thinking about prepping, and she's already more into me. So, thank you, Law Tigers, for having my back. And I'm getting ready for futures. Ryan, are we going to do work or what?
We're going to kill it.
We are.
We're going to kill it.
Make sure, I want new tires.
Okay.
A new clutch.
Okay.
Fresh oil change.
Yep.
What else we got to do for the bike? What do we got to do?
Get you some 125 graphics.
Yep.
You got those coming?
Yep. I'll talk to Tony about that. I'll get some
maybe a
125.
fresh seat cover from Guts Racing.
Yeah. You guys, Andy, you're on part of AJE, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We were. Yeah. Where you been, man?
I'm just making sure. Just
Andy
making sure.
kills it for us.
And then, I'll get some new fly gear, some new Prospect goggles.
You gotta get the Fury goggles, bro.
Should I wear the Furies? I should wear the Furies, huh?
No.
Everyone else wearing Prospect. I'll be their official Fury representation. All right. Joe, listener questions from the Scott Prospect listener questions segment. Let's do it.
Bust that LBZ belt out, too.
Nope.
Sean 819.
Sean, what's up?
Does Justin Hill land on a podium this season?
Ryan, I'll start with you.
He was closed last night.
He was there for a long time.
I mean, crazier things have happened. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, yeah, he makes it happen at least one weekend.
How many more Triple Crowns do we have?
Vegas, the last
So
one.
there's a chance. I think he has a better chance at a Triple Crown to get on the podium.
At the last one in Arlington, if it wasn't for getting taken out by Anderson in the first one, and then the third one he had something goofy happen, he could have got it then. He was so good there. I say yes. Joe, are you still? You said no earlier. Are you coming around on that or no?
Nope.
Why are you such a hater, bro?
I don't know. I know he's a good dude. He's just kicking and having fun.
I'm gonna tell him that he's gonna beat you up. You
He
see,
ain't landed on no podium.
he's landing blows on tough blocks. See that? You like?
I do
You
see
like
him
that or
getting-
not?
I do like that. Yeah, we talked about that with Cooksey. I do like him
You
getting
like it.
fired up. Whatever it takes, man.
Whatever it takes. I say he does. Next one.
Caesar Salad says, I want to know why Daniel Blair 125 pointed at a giant rock in the track for 30 seconds before the race and didn't pick it up and toss it out of the way.
Because I like drama. I'm not gonna get the rocks off the track. I put a couple out there.
These guys are professionals.
Yeah, they can handle
They can
it.
ride with rocks.
Kidding me? No, I do feel bad about that a little bit, though. That was a big one. You know what's funny about that? I'll give you guys a little bit behind the curtain, all right? So we're trying to figure out something for the track segment. We want to tie it in, we're trying to figure out, is it the sand? Is it the whoops? Nah. The soil. It's weird there. It's like loamy, but it's slick, and there's pebbles everywhere, whatever. So I actually go to that spot of the track, and I'm waiting, and it's just, I'm out there a little early, and things are kind of being moved around. Anyways, the track crew's out there trying to, clean the track up, and I'm standing in the way, and they're, looking at me like, dude, you got to go. You need to go. And I'm like, man, come on, hold on. I'm almost done, whatever. And even Gallagher was like, Daniel, I got to fix that section. The guys are waiting. And I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. Just hold on. I knew it was coming. So I ended up doing the segment, but right before it did, literally 10 seconds before we're going to go on, I looked down at the rock because I know I'm going to pull this one rock out. And I immediately just had this instinctual thought of, is that rock going to come out? Am I going to be able to even dig it out? Is it too deep in there? So I went down there really quickly and just dug it up halfway, and it was in there tight. I had to dig in and get it halfway out. That way, when I went down there to grab it, it wouldn't stick. Could you imagine if I went to grab that thing and I couldn't get it out and I'm having to dig it out of the...
He's like, hey, Will, can you come help me, Will?
Yeah, so literally right before, we're getting ready to go to Daniel, I dig in a little bit, cleaned it up, and just kind of popped it out halfway. That way, when I went down there and grabbed it, it would pop right out. was
We all know how
instinctual.
it is when
Smart.
you can't open something, your wife does it for you.
Yeah,
She's
exactly.
like, Bill, can you come get the rock for me?
No, but seriously, if I did not open that thing up a little bit, I was gonna on camera not be able to get the rock out clean, and it would have looked stupid. So that was just
Smart little
instincts right
pre-production right
so,
there.
Yeah, and I did leave the rock, but it was on accident. I forgot that they had to race on it. I was just focused on my job, not theirs. Next one.
Justin Hunt says, Barcia shaking my head. He could get in a pissing match with a tough block.
Yeah,
I didn't know
Yeah,
tough blocks could piss.
yeah. I don't know.
Oh, they can, Andy. And they do.
What do you guys think about that then? Who's in the right and who's in the wrong?
The tough block.
Or are they both? No, him and Tomac. Or are they both in the right and both in the wrong? Like what? I don't know what warranted arguing after. You know what I mean? I kind of thought they were both. Neither one. It wasn't like some blatant dirty. I thought they were both giving it to each
racing.
other in a good way. I thought. No.
They're all soft. They're all soft.
But why would they again, like 3 weeks later, be in each other's face? I don't, and I didn't see who wrote up to who first. So before I point to one as the blame, what were they mad about? I know they're hitting, but they weren't like. It wasn't like Dylan on. It wasn't like a blatant, wide open, whatever. It was battling.
Well, I think there's still some.
It's just leftovers. Is that what it is?
Yeah, a little bit of that, and then it's the heat of the moment. Like if they had 10 minutes to chill, separate, it probably wouldn't have. It would have been like, hey, yeah, you got one coming. Like more like civil about it, where instead of just kind of yelling into each other's helmets. But gosh, there's a lot of I don't think people realize how much pressure is actually on these riders to perform. Because I've been around the teams, just been in the rig making a cup of coffee, right? Just trying to mind my own business.
Yeah.
And here comes the team in. They don't care who's in there, and they're telling these riders,
the
no.
team is talking to the riders pretty harshly.
Yeah, dude, you got to perform, right? And then you have Barcia that's got to perform if he wants to continue doing this.
Right, contract year.
And
you got Eli championship.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
there's just it's just such a heat of the moment. Like in all of reality, they look at it, today watching, they're like, oh, why are we yelling at each other? Like,
right.
That was not anything really.
The only one that should have been mad is probably Baggett, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he's
Blake's
the only one
that
he was like, what the hell?
Yeah, trying to mind his own business.
Sitting duck in the berm, you know what I mean? I just don't see why neither one of them went down from each other both times, and they both want it for different reasons. They're both being aggressive, and I know that Barcia's hand though was pretty bad. Like when he came up on the podium, his hand was bleeding,
really,
and swollen. So I know he got hit pretty good in the hand. But then again, I mean, your hand is at the edge of the bar. Contact happens. It wasn't like I'm going to hurt his hand. It's just part of the battle. But again, I think to Andy's point, give it 15 minutes. Neither one are probably as fired up. They come up the track and they're just like, the hell. But I'm saying right now, Eli needs to pull a Marty and go mend that one. That's just not one you want carrying over when you're in the championship hunt. You just don't. I mean, I really think you should pick and choose. And Barcia, I think deep down still likes it. He keeps acting like he doesn't, but I think he still likes this stuff. You know what I mean?
I mean, he
smiles when you ask him
it.
about it. When you ask him about it, he smiles. He likes it. Joe, no problem with it though. Or do you have a problem with them whining at each other?
I mean, whining at each other, I guess, but the beef is good, and
I love it on track for sure.
I think you're right, Tomac. You better watch your back, son.
I just don't think it's smart to be messing with
Bang
that guy.
Bang's going to show back up and do something.
Bang Bang. Okay, next one.
Or Bam Bam.
Bang Bang's Cooper Webb.
Nathan L 347. No one is talking about Alessi having 3 riders in the top 10 almost every round this year. Factory Slayer.
Best team in the pits, man. Straight up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Best team in the pits.
I talked to him this week, and they said that for Freeze, because the week before, Freeze was kind of off.
Yeah, he's actually been a little goofy for a couple weeks.
Yeah, they were struggling with the rear shock, and they put Hill's shock on. They just went right to Hill's settings, and Freeze was a little hesitant at first, but after riding it, realized that he liked it and felt really comfortable, and you could see it. Because at one point, Freeze caught Hill and almost passed him.
He was all over him.
They were battling for third.
In fact,
pretty good.
Whoever got Barcia, when Barcia got Freesey, it's because he was ducking his head from the roost because he got right to Hill's back tire. And I was surprised by that because I've talked to Tony. I know about their team and the dynamic, and Tony always talks about how Vince is the best in the beginning of the races for him, and then Hill is the middle of the race guy, and Malcolm's been the closer, at least in the offseason. Malcolm's kind of had a rough kind of a spell here the last couple of weeks, but to see Freese mid-late race charging and catching back up to Hill, I was surprised by that. And
then he fell. He fell down and still finished in the top 10.
Oh, because he got in that pile up with Anderson and Wilson, huh?
Yeah.
That's
so,
right.
I mean, that was a good ride for Freese.
It was, but they do have 3 guys just all up in the top 10 all the time. It's a well-ran team, man. Like I said it before the season, Tony Alessi, dude, he can run any one of these things, I think. Next one, Joe.
M. Gomes, 911. Tomac looked frustrated with Barcia. Is Barcia getting in Tomac's head?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Yep. He's definitely annoyed by it. You know what I mean? And that's, again, you've got enough to worry about. You don't need to worry about that. Oh, okay. Now we're watching it right now. What is this, Joe? Like someone's video from the stands?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is pretty good quality.
Just some random dude getting down with his iPhone.
Wow. All right. This is pretty good. So Barcia is behind Tomac. See, Barcia likes it. He wants to do
toying
this
with
stuff. This might be after, though, because Tomac's about to take Baggett out right here. Oh, look at the crowd jump up and cheer. Look at them all cheering. And the hands go up. And dude, I'm telling you, the fans love it, man. When anybody, because half the fans there don't know who's who. They're just, that green one hit the orange one.
How was the turnout?
It's true.
It's hard to tell. That stadium's massive. So there was some, it looked like maybe not good, but dude, that place is massive.
that place is
I
big.
know Arlington crushed it.
Really?
Insane.
They pretty much do every year. It's usually pretty good there.
Yeah, it's a pretty good turnout. Next one, Joe.
Leland John 1. Could Eli Tomac win on a JGR Suzuki?
Andy, you take that one.
You know, honestly, I've been to their facility and I've seen their program. They have all the tools to build the right bike. And I think they get the short end of the stick because, unfortunately, they don't have the budget that the manufacturer has. Like,
and has that just
Honda
changed over recently?
Yeah.
Because I mean, they had it at times, right? When they were the Yamaha team, I think they had more, but it seems like it's thinned out.
Yeah, and so I was so impressed with. I mean, they have stuff there like their dyno for the fork. There's only 3 of those dynos in the entire world. They were the first one with one, and then some engineers from Japan seen it, and so they had one built. And then there's now one in Southern California. But I mean,
I just saw that Brayton jump.
Saw that?
Quad.
Yep.
Oh my god, that was sick.
But yeah, so I mean, I really think the bike is better than people give it credit for.
Is it Black Cloud, man? Because I mean, people are saying like they just have the worst look ever, and I don't know if I can argue that. They just Savachi Pike in the off season, Savachi in the off season, and even Jimmy D, man. It's just like it's just so.
Teasdale now too.
What happened to him?
He's out with a knee injury. He tore his MCL last weekend.
Oh my!
Yeah,
God.
they only had one bike in the pits.
Yep.
It was so depressing.
Yep.
Yeah, and then he was on the ground the whole night, and then I didn't even know if he was going to make it out of the last chance qualifier.
Oh, and he did though. He ended up getting in there, but he was
Yeah.
out of it for a minute. I mean, we can't see the future all the way, but can
I
we?
just feel
Can we
like-
see the future?
I just feel like, unfortunately, the Suzuki brand, well, even the hardest part, and it's not even JGR, even RCH had this problem, MCR has this problem. Teams that are a privately owned team that get support from a manufacturer, the manufacturer doesn't take their groomers that they're grooming right now, the Max Volans and those kind of guys, and say, hey, Tony, we're going to let you have him first on your MCR bike. Right. So, because they're a 450 team, they're not a 250.
So
team.
they're not a work your way up team.
Because when have you seen JGR or MCR or even RCH hire a new up and coming rookie into the 450 class?
I mean,
always
they
have
kind
somebody-
of grabbed Lopes there, but that was a weird last minute thing. That wasn't someone
But
that
he's
they
a
were,
250F rider.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
for
yeah.
their 450
Oh,
program.
right, no.
Like they've always had like James Stewart towards the end of his career.
Yeah.
You know, they have
Millsaps.
Yeah, so
Even JGR was going to get Webb, and then Factory Yamaha came back in and grabbed him.
Yeah, remember that? He was supposed to maybe go into that program,
Yep.
and Webb, Yamaha popped in and said, nah, we'll take him.
yeah, so I mean, like that's my point.
they
is
were
like
pissed about that, too.
Unfortunately, they get the short end of the stick because they don't have a grooming. Like they weren't going to
Yeah.
let AC go to a JGR style. You know what I mean?
Right now.
Like next year, next year there's going to be a big class of rookies coming in. to the 450 class. So maybe there's some hope that they could swoop up one of the up-and-comers.
Depending on what happens in the points, you're looking at Sexton, Ferrandis, McElrath, Martin.
Yeah.
So they could literally next year, if they had the budget, keep Savacci and then grab McElrath and Martin, and then have a nice stacked 3-rider. They've landed on the bad side of a lot of bad timing for one, and then they've had bad luck too, and they've had rough. I don't know. What was the question again? Can Eli win on one?
Yep.
Yeah, I
think
I don't think the
yeah.
bike's as bad. I don't think the bike is the big problem, to be honest with you. I think the bike's okay.
It's just the situation.
It's everything behind that.
Justin Hill almost won on one in Tampa that 1 year.
Yeah, he hopped on one week and almost won. So if the bike's that bad, I don't think the bike's that bad. And I'll bet you Joey, who was on Race Day Live, I'll bet you he does pretty good this summer on one. Not light the world on fire, but I think
Suzuki
he'll be
gets
pretty
a bad
good.
rap, but they're really good bikes.
I think so too. I don't think it's the bike.
I think Max Yancey will be good in the outdoors too on a Suzuki.
Yeah, I think he will too. And to answer your question, Joe, yeah, I'm not saying I'm not saying do the exact same he's doing now, but can Eli Tomac win on one of those? Yeah, he could for sure. Next one.
BAF 450, move over Marshawn Lynch. Coupe is the real beast mode. That was by far the gutsiest ride I've ever seen. No quit in him at all.
No question. Press conference just popped up on our screen. No Cooper Webb at the press conference. He said no way. He was struggling on the podium. They were like trying to hurry up to get him so he could get out of there.
You could see as soon as he just pulled off the track that he was drained.
Weak, dude. Yeah, he's a beast. Regardless of what happens this season, I mean, this is a rough title defense for him too. To come in and be sick,
Yeah.
at the first two, and then this, he's showing that even if he doesn't get it, he's pretty gritty.
Yep.
And we'll go into 2021 with him again as one of the favorites. He's proving that regardless. So next one, Joe.
Dill Del Do, what about calling Bam Bam Wah Wah? Because he turns into a little biggity when someone throws it on him for a change. I love Barcia, but God, it drives me nuts to see him cry about rough racing.
He's turned a new leaf, and now he doesn't like what you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he wasn't whining about it before.
Wah Wah.
What? That's his new nickname. See, that's the problem is I don't know exactly I heard what was being said between them from someone who was standing right there, and it didn't sound like wah wah as much as it sounded like bleep bleep. You know what I'm saying? I don't think either one were whining. I think both of them were just pretty pissed.
Yeah.
And then both of them got on the podium with me, and again, they didn't take the bait. But then again, it's because the other one was standing right there. They were both standing on either side of me, and I think they knew it. But it's like, I wanted them to say something, and they didn't
Rip their jerseys off and start going at it right there.
Yeah, you know what would have been cool? I should have done. I should have told Bondo. I should have said, I got both of them up here. Let me interview both at the same time because we go 1, 2, 3, and then if we have time, we'll get in 4 and 5. So Eli got in after. But man, it would have been cool if I would have just said, hey, and while he's here, Eli, did you hear what Justin said? That'd have been good. They would have said nothing, probably. All right, next one.
Fraser 0208, what fuel do most teams run? We were lucky enough to have industry seating this year and sat right behind the starting gate. Needless to say, we smell like it. Not that it's a bad smell.
Ryan, what are you guys running?
We run VP Racing, the MR Pro 6.
Is that the stinky stuff? What's that stuff that is distinctly weird smelling that I smell?
I think coming out of the exhaust, the stuff that smells like that, it's either the ETS or the Renegade.
Oh,
I want to say
EKS? EKS?
I think it's ETS.
Oh, it's what KTM runs, right?
Yes.
That stuff
it smells. It has a
stinks.
distinct smell to it. It has a very distinct
powerful.
smell to it.
The stuff's so awesome that my $500 Husky that I got,
Yeah.
still to this day, whenever I'm riding, it's impregnated in the muffler. So I put VP in. I run just the T4 like everybody else runs, but I kid you not, people are all the time come up to me like, "Dude, you're running the factory fuel, aren't you?" I'm like, just shrug my shoulders.
Wow.
Because it
You know what you should do is take the muffler off, take the packing out, dip the packing into that stinky stuff, put it back in, and your bike just smells
like
factory
Dude,
forever.
it's so sick. Makes me feel 0.2 faster for sure.
For sure.
Feel, but does it make you faster?
I haven't ridden since Thanksgiving.
Why don't you race futures with me, Salt Lake? Let's do it.
What weekend is that?
The last
May,
one.
May something?
May 2nd, 3rd.
I'm gonna have to think about it.
You'd have to practice though, and I know you don't want to do that.
Actually,
you ride your bike once a
but
year.
I still wouldn't practice. I didn't practice for futures last year.
I know. I'm going to though because I have to beat Danger Boy. Like it's becoming a thing where everyone's telling me it can't happen, and now I'm getting really motivated. Before it was like, yeah. Now I'm actually starting to get nervous because people are.
Ooh.
Well, how are you gonna? So you're racing against him?
No, it's who has the fastest single lap of the day.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. You think I got him or no?
We'll see.
Next question. Next question.
Redneck Moto X, Daniel, what hurts more, Cooper Webb's ass or knowing you're about to lose your job to an 11-year-old girl?
Yeah, probably. Jeez. I don't know. Next question.
JR Bixler 589, Main Event Moto. If Tomac wins the Supercross Championship this year, do you think he retires or does he try to defend it next season?
No, he's got another year on his deal, so he don't just quit, I'd say. And I was thinking about that too. If he wins the Supercross title, that would be 4 outdoor titles now, 3 on a 450, 1 on a 250, plus Supercross. That's 5. That's the same as Stewart. He'd be tied with Stewart for titles. He'll probably win this summer too. I mean, he's the clear favorite. The other guys will give him a run, but he's the clear favorite. I mean, he could have. Look at Barcia's hand right there. See that? So he's not joking when he says he got hit hard. I mean, you can see in the press conference his hand.
Swollen.
Yeah, it's all swollen. It was bleeding. He was cleaning it off with a rag on the podium. It had blood on, all dripping off it. No, Joe. He'll come back and try to defend.
He won't do a Dungey?
Oh yeah, and just kind of
Dungey won and was just like, yeah,
that's enough.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you think about the Dungey Geico thing?
That was weird.
That was weird, but I feel like
Super
it was
weird.
I thought it was weird when he started with them.
Yeah.
Like, which one's weirder? That he started with them or that he just quit all of a sudden? Like,
The effective immediately we've parted ways blew me away more than him because I'm like, okay, his brother's there, so okay, I can see why he.
And he's in investment mode.
Yep.
Yeah,
okay.
I get it.
When he went there, I'm like, that is weird, but okay, I get it. This was like, that's weird, and I don't get it. Like, what happened? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I dug around this weekend, and I didn't hear anything other than it was a little overwhelming. It was too much, and that's what I heard. But you didn't know that it was gonna. I don't know. That it still seems weird. I feel like whatever you read in a press conference is what you're meant to read.
Yep.
And I just don't. I feel like there's got to be more. But I dug around, and there was nothing else to it. Weird. Next one.
Surf Rat Glass, who was more fried at the end of the main, Anderson or Davalos?
Joe, who do you think?
Probably Anderson.
Davalos blew it. If you get top 5, like 4th and 5th, you're supposed to stay down at the podium in case we have time. You're supposed to wait. And he just pinned it up the tunnel and was gone. It's like, bro, you just got top 5. Like, you should have been down there begging. You should have been walked right up to the podium and been like, I need to talk to somebody.
Me and Jacob did that in Phoenix, but I'm
bounced or left?
We just left. Well, he kind of hung around and he asked someone, "Hey, do I need to stick around?" And they're like, "No, you're good."
Well, they asked me, and I was like, no one wants to hear from him. Just kidding. Who was more fried, Andy?
Oh, I'll tell you what. When I got back to the truck, Anderson, like normally I get back over there and he's already inside or whatever. He was sitting outside just on the ice chest, just glaring. Like he
was riding really good and just kept having problems.
Yeah, he was mad. And Dino was sitting right next, like within 6 feet of him. And Dean was facing, like say Anderson was turned to his right, looking down the side of the rig. And Dean's sitting in
the other way.
Well, he's sitting in the doorway of the rig, just looking straight out. And they're kind of just sitting there, and it's kind of somber. And then Dean stands up and walks over to Jason, and then they gave knuckles and kind of like chatted for a minute. But like,
well, they were getting into each other the whole race, for accidental reasons.
Yeah, and I think that's what was so frustrating is that they both realized that as the team, they both like it wasn't good it wasn't good for the team.
It was bad for both.
And then personally, they were both frustrated.
Yeah, under the tunnel, Anderson got squirrely, blocked. I mean, it got all goofy for both of them twice.
Yeah.
And I see them being frustrated, but not at each other, more that just like, geez, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they didn't do anything to each other. They were just caught up in the same messes all the time. Next one, Joe.
Seth Mullins, 18. I would like to know what Bam Bam was saying to Tomac after the race or what he was mad at.
Like I said, from someone that was right there who heard it all as clear as can be, said that it was pretty bleepy. And they couldn't really figure out word for word, but every other one was a bleep. So
makes
kind of
sense.
cool.
They had to have been fired up.
I'd love to hear it. Could
I
you
would
imagine how
too.
cool that would be? Dang it! Next time that happens,
And
so like in 3 weeks when it happens again with those two, I'll get down there with my phone and I'll see if I can catch some audio.
It.
And the thing is, like, they have mutual sponsors, so that's kind of what makes it even better. You know, like when you have the Red Bull guy get into the Rockstar guy, or the Rockstar guy into the Monster guy, it's a little different. You're kind of like, yeah, you know.
Could you imagine the Monster dude? What's his name? Ash.
Yeah.
Just walks up, pushes them apart. Stop it, guys! Don't. Well, actually, he's probably videotaping, loving it. Like, yeah, throw blows. Dirt Shark video. All right, next one.
SDO Novin 65. Will Daniel Blair 125 do another live podcast at a Supercross event? Getting to hear a more casual conversation with Daniel and the riders made for some great listening. Thanks for the great shows.
So Daytona's this weekend. Hobo Nick's going, and Hobo Nick's so funny, man. He's still mad at me over Anaheim won the ticket thing. He's been like reminding me every week, hey.
Smart.
We're good on the tickets, right?
Smart.
We're good on the tickets. And what's the hotel room? Like, he has been all over me, and I'm like not even responding anymore. Like I told him we're good. Like, stop. But he's going, and we're gonna have a fun show because I'm not coming home after Daytona, so y'all know it won't be a regular show. I'm going straight to Chicago, so it'll be a unique show with Nick. We have some ideas, and it's gonna be different in a good way. So y'all that don't like that format, give it a chance, and for those of you that do, I think you'll like what we have up our sleeve.
My buddy loves it. He still keeps talking about it. Oh, that one was so sick.
I thought it was cool. I thought the only problem was the audio was I wasn't good enough with my phone to make sure it was clear. So
The iPhone 1
struggled, but there was a few moments where it was inaudible or something. Joe?
Yeah.
Okay. This will be similar. It'll be good. Trust me. Next week's show, it'll be a lot of before, during, and after in a different way. Y'all gonna like it. I promise.
What's in Chicago?
The last taping for Arena Cross.
So when you're crowning the Guts Racing champion.
He already won it.
Yep,
he won it last night, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Kyle Peters. He's your Arena Cross champ 2020.
Yep. That's 2 years in a row we've won the championship.
Didn't win every race this year. Honda they'd won every single round last year, then every one until this year, until Salt Lake. Hate to spill it, but the Honda team got beat this weekend. Andy, clean sweep didn't happen again. Next one.
Last two. Mustard Bucket 527. Hey, producer Joe, does BB4 need a Mustard Bucket 527?
That's a gift card right there.
Damn, all right. That's what happens. I'm with you.
Mustard Bucket?
Mustard Bucket.
Like, hold on, what does that mean?
Let's ask him. I mean, just, hey, Mustard Bucket, what's that mean?
No, I'm thinking we got to figure it out.
Let us know.
Mustard Bucket.
Need to check the Urban Dictionary.
Yeah.
We might not be able to say on there.
Yeah, that's true. Gift card, possibly, unless the last one beats him.
He says, does BB4 need a tampon after that attempted shove on ET3?
Gift card. Does he need a... Wait, what? How do you ask that?
Does BB4 need a tampon after that attempted shove on ET3?
He's basically calling him a girl. Like the way he shoved
the way he pushed him?
A little beta push.
A little beta push.
That's a good show title.
That is pretty good.
Write that down. Little beta push. That's mean to Blake. Joe, does he need one?
Nah, it wasn't that serious.
I don't think he meant. It was more of.
It was just like this is my bike, dude.
Yeah, with a little bit of attitude, like, you idiot.
Really, bro?
I felt that was a really bro.
That was
push.
a really bro.
That was because if he wanted to send him, he could have sent him.
Sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, Ryan, Joe, we talked about how Maggie got kicked out of Moonshine.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan had a little bit to do with that too. He was part of that problem.
Hey.
No, hold on. Did you square up with that dude before or after Maggie sent him flying?
I think it was after, because I think Maggie pushed him. He turned around, threw a drink on Jamie because he thought it was Jamie that pushed him.
Oh.
And like he kind of turned around and like looked at Jamie, and I got in the middle of it. I'm like, no, bro.
Did we talk about
You
this
don't
on the
want
show
that
or
smoke,
not?
bro.
Did we talk about this on the show or did I not?
I think we touched on it.
Touched on it. You didn't go full in depth.
Andy was a part of that night too. That was later. So
Yep.
a quick recap. What happens in a bar happens in a bar. People get into each other, get mad, whatever. My wife got kicked out because she checked some dude. Ryan was ready to fight the guy. We got kicked out. We left with somewhere else. Then we ended up going back to the Omni. Andy shows up with, what was that bottle? What was in
Oh,
that?
no.
Tito's.
It was Tito's.
Tito's,
I remember.
and Ryan just takes a big old the last one.
Last one of the night.
And where'd you end up?
I ended up on the trash can.
Yeah, on the trash can,
Going
just
up.
sending it. And I had video of it, and I deleted it out of my phone on accident. Andy wanted
Yeah,
it.
because I asked for it. I said,
Andy
hey, send me
wanted
that
it.
video.
That was good. Ryan was doing good all night long. Had
Yep.
one final shot and put him in the garbage can.
Last one.
Last one.
CP Rue 992. This is related to the last one. He said Baggett will retaliate and cost Tomac the title. Heard that in the pits after the race.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Who,
that's-
wait, who is that?
This might be a gift card, son.
Who is that?
CPRU 992.
Hold on a second.
Uh-oh.
Who is this?
So this morning when I was coming through
Say it again.
TSA
I gotta look it up.
pre-check,
CPRU 992.
CPRU 992.
What were you saying, Andy?
if I wish I
I
would
don't
have
want to call
seen
this
that.
dude out, but
I wish I would have seen that before this morning. Get on my plane because Baggett was standing next to me in the
yeah, Baggett's
Security line.
dad was on my flight today.
and I could have said, "Oh, homeboy here on Instagram thinks."
Right. Called him out.
But if you remember, it wasn't last year's, the year before. There was a few press conferences where Baggett was, being creative with his words, kind of stirring it up a little bit.
Yeah, he always does. He says things, which are cool. No, that's cool. But no, we'll give it to
You going with Mustard Bucket?
Mustard Bucket. Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. So good show, guys.
It's fun.
Ryan, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Andy, thanks for coming
always, yeah.
in. You feeling okay? Like,
Yeah.
how was that? I mean, you tried to get me to go out last night, and I said no. And
Yeah, so I went to bed. I'm not.
you were depending on me.
Bro, it's Atlanta. You didn't go to T&G?
Nope, didn't.
I was bummed that I wasn't there.
What's T&G?
Tongue and Groove. That's where the after party's at.
Yeah, that's. I think it was a pre-party. I think it was Friday night.
They have it
went out.
Friday night and then Saturday night. It's lit
No,
too.
I went out to dinner afterwards.
When you're in Atlanta, you got to go to Magic City. That's where everybody goes.
Oh, that's right. You're saying we.
Yeah, I was kind of hungry, so I went to the hotel, and when I went in, James Hansen?
Yeah.
Rockstar? Yeah. So he was in there, and then we ended up just hanging out, had a couple drinks, and then he was running the marathon this morning, so he went back to his room, and I was like, it's starting to get late, and then this Australian family came over, they recognized the hat, and I guess I sponsored their kids. I've never met, it was all through email.
They put their full address on the order form.
Yep, they had it. So
Not
sat
like
down with
everybody
them.
does.
Yeah, I sat down with those guys, and they bought me a couple drinks. And the next thing I know, I was like, it's pretty late because I got to be up, 5:30, 6. So I just went to bed.
Lame.
Yep.
Lame way to end the show, guys. We didn't do anything
Terrible.
cool.
No time traveling this week.
Nope, no time travel. Hey, huge shout out to Fly Racing, Mika Metals. Oh yeah, use the code Main Event Moto for 30% off. MikaMetals.com. No Toil, EMT Racing, Viral Moto, All Me Creations, Motorsport.com, All American Chevy of Killeen, Screen Printing Done, Guts Racing. Use the code Main Event Moto for 20% off at Guts Racing. Why don't we kick that up a percent or two, Andy?
21%.
Yeah. For Jason Anderson. He's your guy. Team Fried, bro.
I'll bump it up to 21%.
This
but
week?
the code will still be the same.
Okay,
Just leave the
same code, Main Event Moto, 21% off this week only.
wee.
Ho, ho, ho.
Better
That
get on that
1%,
shit.
you better get on it. Scott USA, DRS Suspension and Race Tech, and of course the Tigers of Law Tigers, got my back. Keeping me married. Thanks, Joe. Good to see you, bro.
Thank you, buddy.
Ryan, thank you. Andy, thank you.
Yep.
Let's eat some more donuts.
Main Event Moto. Screw it. You know it by now.